Welcome back to Biz Asia America. Tonight, we begin our 5-part series, China Invests. We explore the impact of Chinese investments around the world, which is expected to top nearly $1 trillion by the year 2020. Research firm Rhodium Group says Chinese majority-owned companies have invested more than $16 billion in the United States over the last decade. Chinese-owned subsidiaries employ around 27,000 Americans, and that number is expected to grow to 400,000 by the year 2020. More U.S. cities are embracing opportunities for Chinese investment, and not always where you might expect. Mauro joins us live now from Chicago. Hi, Craig.
Hi, Phil. Now, naturally, you would expect to see big Chinese investments in the major U.S. economic centers, particularly the large cities on each coast, the west and east coast, and there has been a lot there, but we're also starting to see Chinese investors venture deeper into the heart of the United States, into the middle of the country here, and into significantly smaller cities. I visited one of those in Ohio recently. This city may just be at the forefront of its peers in establishing relationships with China. Local American officials try to entice 150 visiting Chinese investors with details on logistics and other incentives in their area. This isn't New York or Los Angeles, though. It's Toledo, a small industrial city of 300,000 people in the state of Ohio. This conference is the culmination of 4 visits to China by Toledo's mayor and his staff to cultivate interest in their city.
When I went to China, there were cities that 15 or 20 years ago had 50,000 people, and now they got 15 million. So if you want to learn about economic development, you go to where economic development is occurring, and it's occurring at an unnatural pace.
The Great Recession devastated Toledo's economy. Bell has straightened out the city's once destitute finances. Now, he says, foreign investment, especially from China, is a key part of his strategy to create jobs. Chinese developers bought one of Toledo's 2 downtown hotels. That same company organized the recent conference and has set up an incubator to help Chinese companies explore the area.
When we started the whole planning process, we never anticipated we have this much turnout.
The hope is that connections made at conferences like these will one day blossom into concrete partnerships.
I didn't know Toledo, Ohio before, but through the conference and experts, we now think that it's a good place for investment. This is my first visit. I need to learn more about local U.S. laws and policies, as well as investment conditions in Toledo.
That's music to the ears of officials like Mayor Bell, whose next trip to China will be in November for the Shenzhen High-Tech Fair. Now, Phil, there has been a major Chinese investment in Toledo that came before that conference, and that was a group known as Dashing Pacific, which purchased some prime riverfront real estate right in the middle of downtown Toledo, and they will be developing that into a multi-use complex that will have shops, housing, and office space. And all told, it's thought that the investment there could reach as high as $300 million, which is thought to be, if it ends up being that much, could be one of the largest Chinese-owned real estate developments in the United States. Phil?
That's pretty cool. It's obviously much needed in an economy that's trying to recover itself. But I have to ask you this, have there been any other deals that have been announced in terms of this attendance conference that you attended?
Well, the organizers were quite happy with the results. They weren't expecting any immediate deals to be immediately inked. They told me today that they got 20 what they called qualified leads out of that conference that they believe could lead to some kind of investment out of a group of 150 visiting Chinese investors. That's not too bad. They say that they even got a call from a company in China that hadn't sent any representatives but had read about it, and so they're quite happy about that. And the Yubo Pharmaceutical Group from China, which already has a relationship with the University of Toledo, announced at that conference that it would be establishing a training platform with the university there that will involve bringing a few dozen Chinese medical doctors every year to train in Toledo. So they're quite happy with that, and they're looking forward to future visits to China and obviously more visits to Toledo by Chinese businessmen.
All right, Craig, great stuff live for us from Chicago. Thank you very much.